Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the last point of unit number 4, that is statically indeterminate shaft. So this is the last point of unit 4, that is torsion. So first of all, you should know what is statically determinate shaft and statically indeterminate shaft. So determinant का मतलब होता है solvable, indeterminate का होता है not solvable or not able to solve using static conditions. So in mechanics, you have studied the static condition of equilibrium. Static means what? When body is at rest condition, what are the conditions applicable? And that are nothing but Fx0, Fy0, moment 0. So these are the three conditions called as static conditions. So first type is statically determinate shafts. So its name itself indicates its meaning. Statically determinate shafts means the shaft in which the internal resistant torques can be obtained using static equilibrium conditions. Okay, such shafts are called as statically determinate shafts. Means these shafts can be analyzed or can be solved just by using static condition. Static condition means what? Three conditions of equilibrium. We can analyze this type of shafts, that is called as statically determinate shafts. And its example are when shafts are connected in series and in parallel. That is the example of statically determinate shafts. But when shaft is indeterminate, indeterminate means what? Here unknowns will be more than 3. If unknowns are up to 3 and conditions are available are 3, then you can solve that problem. That is called as the determinant problem. But statically indeterminate means what? The shaft in which the internal resistant torques can be obtained using, cannot be obtained. Now here one important thing is here, internal resistant torques cannot be obtained using static equilibrium equations, and the additional compatibility equations of angular displacements are required to determine the resisting torque. Okay, so what it means? It means only the static conditions, that is Fx0, Fy0, moment 0. So these three conditions are not sufficient to know the number of unknowns in the problems. So here to solve that, we need to add compatibility equations of angular displacement. What is angular displacement? Angular displacement is nothing but theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. Okay, that is depends upon the number of shafts connected together. Now see, this is the figure given. It shows it is a statically indeterminate shaft. How it is indeterminate? You can see both the ends are fixed. When one end is fixed and one end is free, that will come under statically determinate category. That already we have solved that problem. But when this end is fixed, both ends are fixed, when there will be slopes are 0 at A and slopes are 0 at C. Fixed end, if any end is fixed, slope is 0. Okay, but what happened now? This torque 1200 Newton is applicable here. This torque is applicable here, that will be divided in certain percentage, means this particular end will share some anti-clockwise torque and this end will also share some anti-clockwise torque. Why anti-clockwise? Because it is clockwise. This middle one is clockwise, means ends will resist couples or the torques in opposite direction. Means this 1200 will be divided into some parts. Okay, it will not be divided half exactly, because your diameter of the bar is different, length is different. That's why this magnitude of T1 will not be equal to magnitude of T2. So we will get two torques, T1 and T2, and total addition of that will be 1200 Newton meter. So here how many unknowns are there? So here at the middle point there will be theta BC. At this point is B. So at the middle point slope BA, right side slope BC. These are the two unknowns. Then these two torques are there, T1 and T2. So there are four unknowns. And whenever there are four unknown, we are having three static condition So we cannot solve this particular type of problem, and that's why it comes under statically indeterminate category. So that's why it is called as statically indeterminate shafts. Many times in examination there may be short note. Write short note on statically determinate and indeterminate shaft and explain with the diagram. So you can draw any one diagram and there you can show this number of unknowns. If statically determinant का example आपको show करना है तो you just remove this one of the fixed end. Either A remove करो नहीं तो C remove करो. If you remove this one of the fixed end, now this will not be unknown, this will be now known. Means this T2 will not be unknown. Now all the torques are applicable on the rods that will be added clockwise, anti-clockwise. Means whenever one fixed end is removed, unknowns will be 3. Okay, 2 slopes and 1 torque will be unknown. Unknowns will be 3, and that can be solved by using static condition. So that will be now statically determinant problem. But now in statically indeterminate shafts, how to solve that problem? Because it is fixed at both the ends. So here theta A and theta C both are 0. It is written over here because of fixity. Whenever it is fixed, their slopes are 0. But two important conditions are there. Whenever this shaft is subjected to torque T, at the middle there is a torque T. So this torque T will be get distributed at these two ends, at end C, at end A. Means total torque T will be equal to T1 plus T2. Means this is the total torque applicable that will be divided into two parts, that is TA and TB. Okay, so instead of writing T equal to T1 plus T2, T1 means torque acting on shaft 1 and T2 is torque applicable on shaft 2, or we can write down T equal to TA plus TC, that is also correct. And second one is the slope. Slope means what? At B to A, due to torque, what will happen? It will try to rotate this particular shaft, and due to that there will be slope. Okay, slope will develop to this particular axis, and that slope you have to calculate. For length BA it will be theta AB, and for length BC it will be theta BC, will be equal to 0. Means total slope must be equal to 0. Why it must be 0? Because here suppose if we are showing slope like this at the end, one slope will be clockwise while another slope will be anti-clockwise with the horizontal here. So these are the slopes due to this torque. Now torque will try to rotate this particular shaft. Okay, angular displacement. Due to that, what will happen? There will be some, what happen here? Due to this application of torque, there will be twisting, and due to twisting here, theta A and theta C will develop. That is the slope. But if you add these total slopes, that theta AB plus theta BC must be equal to 0 for equilibrium, and then even you can write down theta BA must be equal to theta BC, because they are going to develop at this cross section. When they are same, then and then they will be balanced. If theta BA is different and BC will be different, then it will be unstable. So both should have the same magnitude. So either addition of these two must be equal to 0, or you can write down theta BA equal to theta BC. Okay. So same thing I have written over here. Only added part is here, this one. So total torque T will be equal to, if you add this, now I have shown this torque right clockwise. Okay, so clockwise torque I have taken positive. If you want to add all of the torque sequentially, so here clockwise torque T positive minus anti-clockwise torque TA minus anti-clockwise torque TC will be equal to 0. Then you will get T equal to TA plus TC. And second condition is theta BA plus theta BC must be equal to same, or they must be equal to 0, or they will be equated. Okay, so these two conditions are required while solving the problem, condition 1 and condition 2. Okay, now see first problem. So here you just see, while solving problem you need to show this free body diagram. Initially this TA and this TC is not shown on the diagram, only this T will be shown. Okay, you must see that when T is acting clockwise, so here these two torque must be anti-clockwise. If suppose this torque is acting anti-clockwise, then both the torques will be clockwise, because due to this applied torque, this torque will be get distributed over the two ends by some magnitude. Okay, so just see first problem. A compound shaft is held between two rigid supports A and C. So compound shaft means what? Made up of two members, A and C. It is fixed over here. A torque of 1200 Newton meter is applied at B. So at B point 1200 Newton torque is applied at junction of brass and steel shaft. So here it is steel material, it is brass material. At the junction means what? Here. At the junction this torque is acting. Find the torque in section AB, means this one, and section BC, this one. Take GS. GS means what? Modulus of rigidity in steel 84.4 GPa, and in brass it is 44.8 GPa. Now first of all write down given things. What is given here? Two ends are fixed, A and C. Torque is given here 1200 Newton meter, and it is applied clockwise. This is the clockwise torque. Okay. Here I have written over here 1200 न्यूटन मीटर मीन्स 1200 इंटू 10⁻³ न्यूटन mm. तो मैंने कन्वर्ट क्या किया है यहाँ पे मीटर का mm में किया है. सपोज इट इज किलो न्यूटन. यहाँ पे फॉर्चुनेटली हियर इट इज इन न्यूटन. समटाइम्स इट में बी गिवन इन किलो न्यूटन मीटर. अगर किलो न्यूटन मीटर होता है यहाँ पे तो क्या करना है? किलो न्यूटन का न्यूटन में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए 10⁻³ और मीटर का mm में करने के लिए 10⁻³ मीन्स वेन एवर if it is in kilo Newton meter, so here you have to multiply with 10⁻⁶. But here it is Newton meter, means only you have to convert meter into mm. That's why it is 10⁻³ Newton mm. Now length of member AB is given 1200, length of BC is given 1800. Modulus of rigidity of both the materials are given. That is in GPa, you have to write down in MPa. MPa means megapascal. You have to write down in megapascal. Megapascal means Newton per mm square. Instead of MPa, you can write down this as a Newton per mm square. Now from that, you just calculate the polar moment of inertia. Polar moment of inertia for steel is pi by 32 d raised to 4. So diameter is 25. So after doing the calculation, we will obtain the value of Js. Similarly, polar moment of inertia for brass, pi by 32 d raised to 4, you will get polar moment of inertia for brass, that is 251.2 into 10⁻³ megapascal. Okay, so our main aim is use the condition of that statically indeterminate cases, because it is fixed at both the ends. Now you have to draw the FBD first. Now you can see both the ends are fixed, means you have to remove the fixed support. Here at the middle there is a clockwise couple or torque that you have to show at the middle, torque clockwise torque here, and then you have to show TA anti-clockwise here, TC anti-clockwise here, because our first condition is this T is equal to, this is T, this torque is nothing but T, this T is equal to TA plus TC, or if TA is clockwise, so T minus TS, so minus TB. Minus TS TB means what? Torque resisted by steel or torque resisted by brass. Or instead of TS TB, you can write down here TA and TC, no problem. Torque at A point, torque at C point. और T1 T2 भी आप लिख सकते हैं, TS TB भी लिख सकते हैं. You can write down TA TC भी लिख सकते हैं यहाँ पे. Instead of TS TB, you can write down TA TC, no problem. So using second condition, this is first condition. Total torque T 1200 is equal to TA plus TC or TS plus TB. S and B stands for steel and brass material. Now second condition, theta BA must be equal to theta BC. Means at the middle there will be axis, and due to this rotation there will be slope. Okay, this slope you have to notice at the center. Okay, so what is this slope? At this point, what is the slope with the axis? That slope you have to calculate. That is theta BA, theta BC. Okay, so that slope must be, one is clockwise, one is anti-clockwise. That's why they are equated. And using torsion equation, you know that torsion equation TL. What is torsion equation? It is nothing but torsion equation. T by J. Our torsion equation is T by J equal to G theta by L. So this is our equation. G theta by L equal to tau by R. But here no need of to write down tau by R, because we are going to take this first 4 term, because we want to write down theta equal to. So this theta will be equal to TL into GJ. Okay, theta will be equal to this cross multiplication TL into GJ. Same formula I have written over here. Now this is for equation theta. Now for BA we have to just write down suffix BA, or you have to write down BA means what? Steel part. So here this equation will be modified for steel and brass. So suffix you write down for steel, it is SS, and for brass it is BB. Means TS LS upon GS JS equal to TB LB upon GB GB. Okay. So in that equation you just put the known terms. TS and TB is not known, you put as it is, into LS, length of steel 1200. Okay, so that is given here, that length is 1200, length of brass is 1800. So that you have to write down lengths. Here I am putting value in the equation, in this equation. So T as it is, L 1200, G polar moment of inertia for steel, sorry, modulus of rigidity for steel, polar moment of inertia for steel, similarly for brass. You write down all these values. Here TS TB is not known, so we will get the relation that this TS is equal to 0.429 TB. Say this is equation 1 or A. Now using here we have written that equation T equal to TS plus TB. So by taking this equation, this is equation 1. In that what you have to put here? This new value Ts is equal to 0.429 TB. So instead of Ts, I am writing that particular value here. Okay. Here total T is 1200 Newton meter. So total T is 1200 Newton meter. In Newton per mm, Newton mm, it is 1200 into 10 to power 3 Newton mm. That is the value of T. Then Ts, instead of Ts, what I will write? This term. Okay. Plus TB as it is. So by adding this 1 TB plus this 0.429, it will be 1.429 TB, and by solving this you will get the value of TB 839.75 into 10 to power 3 Newton mm. Similarly, from 1200 if you deduct this, or you know the relation, if TB is known, you put TB here, you will get TS here. Okay, so in this way you will get the value of TB and TS. Okay, so in this way you have to calculate the individual torques from the members. So here our question was, find the torques in the section AB and BC. Now the torques we have calculated here. Okay, this one and this one is our answers. Now see problem number 2. A shaft ABC is fixed at A and B in the similar way like previous problem, subjected to torque 15 Newton meter in the same way. 15 Newton meter means 15 to 10 to power 3 Newton mm. Calculate the torque at the ends, shear stresses in both the components, and angle of twist. So here along with the torques you have to calculate shear stresses as well as angle of twist. So just like previous problem, first of all write down all the things given. Find out polar moment of inertia. GS and GB is given here. So GS is 79 and GB is 39. So it is not GS, it must be GB. Okay, here it is GB. So by taking this GS and GB into MPa, just like previous problem, you just take first condition that T equal to TA plus TC. This total T is clockwise 50. So T is known, 50 into 10 to power 3 Newton mm, and this TA plus TC will be the individual torques at both the ends. So this is our first equation. Now second equation, just equate the slope theta BA plus theta BC equal to 0 as theta BA equal to theta BC. This is second condition. Okay, and use equation theta is equal to TL by GJ just like previous problem, and then you just put the value of lengths. Okay, here length is 1200 and this length is 600 here. Okay, so by solving this we will get the relation TA is equal to 1.0036 TC. Okay, and put this particular TA in this case, instead of TA what you have to put here, you have to put this value. Okay, so by putting this value here you will get some relation. So I have kept that value here. Okay, so T instead of TA you can write down this must be TC. By adding this you will get 2.0036 TC. Why? Because here we know that TA, here we have calculated TA here. TA is equal to 1.0036 TC. Same thing I have written over here, and you can put instead of TA that value. By adding this will be the total addition of these two, and then by solving this you will get the value of TS and TB. Okay, in Newton mm here and in Newton meter here. Now in this problem they have asked us to calculate the shear stress also. Shear stresses in both the components. To calculate the shear stresses, you have to use second relation, T by J is equal to tau by R. Okay. For brass, use this. We have to calculate tau, means tau is equal to T into R by G. T into R by G, cross multiplication. And here for brass, use brass properties. R means radius of that brass bar, half of diameter. And J is the polar moment of inertia. So you will get the shear stress in brass. Similarly for steel, use the properties of steel here, Ts into Rs by Js, and you will get the shear stress in the steel. Okay. So after getting shear stress, another important unknown is there, angle of twist. So angle of twist here it is same. So use, because theta BA equal to theta BC, and for theta we are having equation TB LB upon JB GB. So use this equation, you put the values and you will get the slopes. Initial answer will be in radians, multiplied by 180 upon pi, that answer will be in degrees. So this is the slope in degrees, 0.69 degrees. Okay, so in this way you have to calculate the slopes, torques and shear stresses. Now see the third problem. A compound shaft ABC shown in figure. If allowable shear stress is 70 MPa, find the safe value of torque T at C point. Safe value of torque T at C point, and G is constant. For this problem, value of G is not mentioned. It is given that it is constant. Constant means what? For both the material, G will be same. Okay. So given is tau max. Tau max means what? 70 MPa, that is given. Individual length is given 500 mm. L2 300 mm here. Okay. So diameter is given, it is 40 mm here, and here it is 30 mm here. It is 30 mm. So D1, D2, L1, L2 tau max is given. If diameter is known, you can find out the polar moment of inertia for both the sections, J1, J2 for both the sections, and write down first equation because both the ends are fixed. If this torque is anti-clockwise, means definitely there will be one torque here. It will be TA clockwise, and here it will be TB clockwise. Means T will be equal to this TA plus TB addition of these two. Okay. So and slope must be same. Theta CA must be equal to theta CB. Okay. From C to A and from C to B, because slope at A and slope at B is 0, but at the middle slope is not 0. So write down that second equation, and this is first equation for addition of torque. You put the value of theta is equal to TL by Gj. So in this problem, modulus of rigidity G is same. Okay, so it will be cancelled because on opposite side. So it will cancel. TA and TB is not known. Length, corresponding length of the members, and polar moment of inertia of A and B you write down here. You will get some relation between TA and TB, and that is TA is equal to 1.896 TB. Okay. So but in this problem what is given, but allowable shear stress tau max is given 70 MPa. So shear stress is maximum where diameter is minimum. Okay, and hence it has a maximum इन पार्ट टू. तो यहाँ पे आपको दिया क्या है कि मैक्सिमम शेयर स्ट्रेस दिया है, मैक्सिमम शेयर स्ट्रेस टाउ मैक्स, और टाउ कहाँ पे मैक्स होगा, जहाँ पे डायमीटर कम होगा. तो दोनों में से आपको क्या होगा, यू हैव टू चूज द डायमीटर वेयर शेयर स्ट्रेस इज मैक्सिमम. सो व्हेन एरिया इज मोर shear stress will be less, but here area is less means shear stress will be more, means you have to take section second where diameter is 30 mm. So in portion BC or diameter 30, tau will be maximum. Then you should consider the right side part. So TCB equal to, CB means what, I have just considered this right side part, this one, by taking maximum tau. So by taking tau here, tau max is known, that is 70 MPa, T into R by J. So here you will get value of torque whenever shear stress tau is maximum, and that value is 370.9 into 10 to power 3 Newton mm. And after getting TCB, you just put in equation 1 here, you will get value of TA. Okay, here you will get the value of TA. But in the problem, what they have asked, find the safe value of torque T. Okay, so here they have not asked find the both the values of torque. They have asked what is the safe value of torque. Safe means what? When tau is maximum in second bar, so safe value of torque will be also in second bar, and that is nothing but 370.19 Newton meter. So in this way, you have to solve the problem of statically indeterminate shafts. Problems are very simple. Only you have to use the two conditions, that slopes are same and torques will be added. The two condition you have to use carefully, and then you have to solve the problems. Okay. So for practice, you just solve few problems. I will give the exercise. From that also you can solve the problem. So today we'll stop here. Thank you. Thank you very much.